Good afternoon from New York. And today, what I have for you is used AI, and I've added some comments along with it. It's about what is an objective mystic, and what it says is what I looked for. Um, the brain is the source of higher self or God self belief. So, title of this: the brain is source of the higher self or God self belief. The brain is the source of the higher self or God self belief is a fascinating topic that intersects neuroscience, psychology, and spirituality. While there's no definitive answer, various perspectives and scientific research offer intriguing insights. Neurotheology, brain's role in spiritual experiences. Neurotheology is a field of study that explores the neural basis of religious and spiritual experiences. Researchers have identified specific brain regions associated with feelings of transcendence, awe, and unity with the universe. These regions include the temporal lobes, parietal lobes, and the default mode network, or abbreviating as DMN. The DMN is a network of brain regions that is active when you're not focused on a specific task. It's associated with introspection, mind wandering, and self referential thought. Some researchers suggest that the DMN may play a role in generating feelings of connection to something larger than oneself, which could contribute to the concept of a higher self or God self. In empathy, and now my comment. In empathetic inner mind communication, there is a role of a higher power of our imagination called the artist that is above our dramatic experience, the story of our life. Appreciating it as we would a movie, it is, in a sense, in a timeless heaven with the power to create experiences for us and invite us to experience this heaven. It is much like the Paramatma or Super Soul in yoga, which is mysteriously both our higher self and a god of our imagined universe. The rational mystic might see this as our brain, with another part of our brain imagining the brain as a person. The role of neurotransmitters. This is back to AI. Neurotransmitters such as dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin have been linked to feelings of pleasure, well being, and social bonding. These neurotransmitters may contribute to the positive emotions and sense of connection often associated with spiritual experiences. In empathetic inner mind my input, in empathetic inner mind communication, this is what attaches us to what meets our human needs and reward of both giving and receiving love, upon which our natural virtues of artfulness, truth, goodness, and trust in love depend. Okay? Elaborate a little. So, all of these things are associated with healing process, involves our endorphins, dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin. And yeah, when we love or are loved, we get this kind of reward, good feeling, um, kind of like our sense of a heaven. Uh, and in empathetic communication, um, yeah, these things are what connect us to our human needs. It's through a reward of both giving and receiving love. We get a reward um, for meeting human needs, our own and others, and natural virtues of artfulness, truth, goodness, and trust, and depend on the love flow, meeting human needs yourself and helping others get their needs met. That's kind of a love flow. And it can happen, just in your mind, daylight dream, imagination, and in your actual dreaming. Now, artfulness comes from creative empathy, this understanding of empathetic emotion, inner mind communication. Um, and that the virtue that comes from that is artfulness. Truth comes from objective, um, good to tell the truth. What bonds society together. Um, Goodness, um, yeah, that's from compassionate, which makes it safe to express your needs, urges you to meet needs. And trust and love is increased by all of these perspectives. Let's go back to AI again. The subjective nature of experience. It says it's important to remember that the brain is not the sole determinant of spiritual experiences. Individual differences in brain structure, neurochemistry, and personal beliefs can all influence how people interpret these experiences. Certainly, we cannot separate spiritual experience from communication, our environment, and neurochemical makeup. That part from. And further, I said, empathetic inner mind communication is intimately connected to our communication in day to day life. In all spheres of communication, including the political, it is a force for good, not just inside of us, but in the world. Politics is how we try to improve the real world with better, more caring communication and voting. Thus, the philosophy of empathetic inner mind communication is pro democratic, which allows for peaceful change and more voice for government. Yeah. It's religious things come to me. I'm not promoting any religion, but he that the Son sets free, free indeed. He that loves sets free is the freedom to love and be loved, meet needs and to receive needs. That's it. The freedom to do that. I call it wise freedom. And it involves all of the approaches to talk about. So, yeah. So let's now go to AI. The higher self and God self as metaphor. Some people may interpret the concept of a higher self or God self as a metaphor for the deeper or intuitive aspects of our own consciousness. It's a way to describe the part of ourselves that transcends our ego and connects us to something greater. Yeah, what is that part that transcends our ego? The artist role in empathetic inner mind communication is above our dramatic experience of life. And this is from me. And above our dramatic ego self. But a more complete form of ego transcendence is found in what empathetic inner mind communication calls the infant mind. Who we were before we had language or a self concept. This is discovered in its inner mind communications meditative approaches, using play, focus, and expression of feelings without using language. Right? So if you uh, the techniques in inner mind communication that help you contact infant mind, which is more of a kind of Zen experience. They are about neutralizing, seeing things through the eyes of language. And it's interesting to note, side note, that music developed primitive humans for language. Yeah. Yeah, there's evidence. Anyway, a multifaceted perspective. Ultimately, the relationship between the brain and the higher self or God self is a complex and multifaceted issue. This is from AI. While neuroscience can provide valuable insights into the neural basis of spiritual experiences, it cannot fully explain the subjective and personal nature of these. And then I replied, I added, yes, the experience of the practices empathetic inner mind communication is profound and not something easily put into words, which can inspire music and art to better communication. Further exploration. This is from AI. Yes, if you're interested in learning more about this topic, I recommend, AI recommend, that exploring the following books: The Varieties of Religious Experience by William James, Why God Won't Go Away by Andrew Newberg and Eugene Aquile, um, Eugene Aquile, and Scientific Research. Not just books, scientific research. This articles on neurotheology and neural correlates of religious and spiritual experiences. By considering both scientific and spiritual perspectives, we can gain a deeper understanding of the human experience and the nature of consciousness. Yes, I agree. Totally agree. Um, and this channel, that's kind of what it's about, mainly through communication, and in broad terms, a communication of love within yourself and yourself, which leads to wanting to make a better world for everybody and leads directly into progressive politics. What do we mean by that? We mean politics that progresses the capacity to both give and receive love. Boom, boom. Like investing in our children, making sure that none of them go hungry. while some people have 5 yachts and 6 homes. A little bit of a need for progressive politics so that everybody pays enough in taxes and rich pay enough of their fair share. You know, I said, well, what's a fair share? Now, certainly veterans of, of the of any nation, uh, wandering around homeless and without health care, it's definitely, you've gone too far. You're too greedy. Hungry children in schools, you've gone too. Children without the opportunity for an education, you've gone too. So, it's have love flow. That it goes into the world, how we deal with species, or eradicating whole species. That we've gone too far. Got to do better than that. Got to put back, not just take. And we're still working on that, aren't we? Not destroy things if we don't get together. Empathetic intermediation. And as to this great statement, gain a deeper understanding of the human experience and the nature of consciousness. I say, or you can just practice empathetic intermind communication, but be prepared to incline toward activism for love and progressive, read empathetic politics. This is the path of the rational. Be a part of this movement, bring humanity together through love and communication. Subscribe, share, like, and consider being a part of our Zoom call. Connect to us also on Facebook by joining our Facebook group, aptly named Intermind Communication, or give us a shout out, comment. Till next time, keep looking up. Let your inner love virtue be of hate and fear, the resistance knocking its. Thank you so much for listening. Not the best speaker in the world. I hope that you stay awake for it. And if you can gather anything from this at all, make your comments and open opinions. So, onward and upward.